When people ask me what I do and I tell them lettering, they ask, "What is lettering?" I draw a blank. I think to myself, how can people not know what lettering is? It's handwriting, right? Yes, I do teach handwriting, print, and cursive. And I teach really fun lettering styles too, like Twinkle and Zombie. And I teach all ages, from kiddos to retirees. And I teach them using a Blackwing pencil. But I got started by teaching graphic recorders and facilitators to bring more value into their client work. And as a visual practitioner, when I'm graphic facilitating, I use Neuland markers, these markers, especially this big one, art marker, which is the largest art marker in the world. And I teach them how to use these professional tools to write a variety of lettering styles that allows me to capture all the great work that's happening in the room. Now, I use the term lettering because it's not just handwriting and it's different from calligraphy. Rather than me try to explain, let me show you some examples of my work, me teaching, and some of the before and after examples of my students' work after taking lettering classes and workshops from me. I've asked a couple of my colleagues, Caroline and Claire from the UK, to talk about what they learned in my lettering workshops.
When you work with Heather, it's an experience and an experiential learning. So what that means is that you come in at wherever you are, and wherever you are, you will improve and you will take the practice of lettering deeper within your own practice.
You could see the change instantly the day after the training. You could look at something from the day before and compare it to something the day after, and there was a clear difference.
The way that Heather teaches is she really takes you into the letters. She breaks them down. She does extremely good practical teaching so that you learn bit by bit, and then your brain allows you to pull the things together and you come out not only with a practical set of handwriting skills, as it were, but you also have a connection to the letters yourself.
Yeah, going through each of the individual letters was really useful, but really little things like not overemphasizing the practice on one letter, doing the letters in different hands. So being able to use, Neuland, and being able to use Sign Painter or script, and practicing them in different ways helped. It maybe sounds contradictory, but I think it helped me to develop each of the styles anyway. Yeah, and now I don't need to think about if I'm graphicing. I don't need to think, oh, how shall I do my title? What kind of font or style should I use? I've got a repertoire, and they're there, and they come out of my hands because it is ingrained in the muscle memory. So I'm listening. I'm not thinking about what's going on there and how I'm going to do it. I can whack up a title really easily, and I'm in the zone, and I'm listening to the client, and I'm getting everything that they need on the board, I think.
The pragmatic and the practical, I want that too.
Yeah, and they both work, don't they? And
Yes,
I see the benefits that you're talking about, and it definitely influences like the higher. It's definitely influenced the hierarchy of my work. It helps people to see the way through the graphic and read it easily.
I guess I only have one point, which is that it's more than just lettering.
So I hope this gives you a better understanding of what lettering is and how you can use it in your work as a visual practitioner. Please join me in 2026 in Newcastle upon Tyne on Wednesday, February 25th for a Core Skills Masterclass and Thursday, February 26th for the Advanced Skills Masterclass, hosted by Inky Thinking.
And so Heather is surprised that I want to continue working with her because she says, I know it all. But it's not about that. When you work with her, it's a real experience, and you develop a relationship with your mind and your heart and your hand and the board and your letters. So what I found after working with her a lot of time, that I was just more intentional, I was more connected, I cared about the letters, and most importantly, I took joy in writing the letters. So I hadn't had that before. And what she taught me was that, which had never occurred to me, was that you can to get the shape of a letter, you might need to move your hand. You might need to move your entire arm. But what that meant was that when you, for example, when you do the kick of the R, that stroke, you have to move your hand in the sign painter hand. You move your hand to make this glorious flick. And that gives me pleasure every single time I do it. And when I'm having pleasure at the board, writing the letters, that connects me in a way that I wasn't connected before. It gives me enormous joy. On a practical level, what it does for me is it gives me tools that I can do more or less without thinking, which opens up my brain for more listening. So I can write a title, I can write the words, I can write points. And if it's really fast, I know that they will be reasonably good. If I have time, I know they will be very good, which is really appropriate for graphic recording. So I have practical skills, and I also have a joy and connection with letters that I never knew was possible. And all of that feeds through to the whole of my work. So the whole of my work becomes better because I'm thinking about structure and form, not only in my letters, but in all of my work, and how the shape of that informs the shape of the whole. So it's really very transformational.